iOS 18.1 Beta 1, iPadOS 18.1 Beta 1, and Sequoia 15.1 are available as we are recording. We have not seen 18.0 yet, but yet here they are.
That's right. This is what we've done.
What's going on here?
I don't know. I mean, it is basically Apple has decided that they are going to do a parallel beta process for Apple Intelligence. That it seems like these versions are probably essentially the 18.0, 15.0 versions, but with an additional thing, which is Apple Intelligence features. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're developer betas for a while. Apple's not saying whether there will also be public betas. Apple's not saying why they're continuing doing the two streams. Obviously, Apple intends to ship the 18.0s, and then the 18.1s will enable the intelligence features. I'm not entirely clear, other than if you're a developer and you want to make sure that your app works on 18.0. Otherwise, you would presumably will want to run 18.1 because it's got the Apple Intelligence features in it, unless there's something cataclysmically broken there. I don't know. But for now, yeah, we've got multiple beta paths going on here where there are now developer betas for these new versions that have Apple Intelligence features built in. So people are getting their hands on, or be able to get their hands on it if they go to the developer beta one of one of these versions, which you'll be able to choose from your little pop-up of like which stream do you want to be on. And then there are some Apple Intelligence features in there.
So does this mean that 18.0 will have 0 Apple Intelligence features now?
I think it does.
Okay.
I think that's what it means.
That seems to have... Okay. It's changed from the reporting, and Mark Gurman did have a report about this over the weekend that he said this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it doesn't change anything from Apple's perspective because they were never clear.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know about the timing. It may be that we'll get an 18.0 update early, right? That's one thing they could do. They haven't done before, but they could do, is ship the OSs late summer even, early fall, so they're out on other devices and they are preloaded on the new iPhones when they arrive. And it's just a stable set of generic 18.0s that run. And then I wonder if that's what they're doing, is saying, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pull that forward.
Oh, wow.
And ship this stuff.
I hadn't considered
that. And then the point ones will come and we'll make a big deal about them. But maybe we should just get this out the door first. I don't know. I don't know. Either that or these will be at the normal time. The new iPhone will ship. It won't have Apple Intelligence enabled. They'll say it'll be later this month or whatever, and there'll be an 18.1 that follows behind it. I don't know. I do wonder, though, if part of this, whether the public sees it in August or early September, I do wonder if they'll lock it and start putting it on those devices, right? Just as this is 18.0. Maybe nobody else will even see 18.0. Who knows? Maybe they'll just put it on the new devices and wait and hope that 18.1 is ready. It's a mystery. We'll have to watch it, but it's messy for now, at least. It's a little bit messy. Also interesting, so the new top-level setting called Apple Intelligence and Siri.
Yep.
When you first click on it, what you're going to get is a thing that says, join the Apple Intelligence waitlist to reserve your spot and get ready to experience intelligence that understands your personal context. Reserve your spot.
Apple is
on the
a startup
waitlist
now. There's a growth hacking, and we're going to
the
share
waitlist
our
for the
numbers
beta?
online.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. If you tweet our special URL, we'll put you on our waitlist. Yeah, so this is an interesting suggestion of how they are trying to prepare to gate demand. If they have demand problems, they can just not let people on. And I imagine this may continue through the summer and into the fall as these features roll out, that they're going to kind of want to have the ability to say, oh, no, that's too many people. Our servers are dying, and be like, let's pause the beta for a little bit and wait until we've got everything together. So we'll have to watch how long the Apple Intelligence waitlist goes. Although what I've been told is that for the developer beta, developers should be granted access within a few hours. It can vary based on what time of day and the weekend and whatever, but like it's not meant to be one of those things where you hurry up and download the beta and then you have to wait a week for your waitlist item to be approved. It's intended for this developer beta, at least, to be something that is granted fairly quickly.
I hope that they're going to use the developer beta as a way to judge scale, because I think it would kind of suck if Apple announced this and then never had to wait, like when it actually ships to the public, because that is honestly for me a very strange thing for a company of Apple's size to be doing. But I guess the competitors do it too, but it is just weird to me. That is weird to me.
Yeah, I think whether it stays in the long term or not, I think they are worried about, if it's just for the beta or even it's when it's initially available for everybody.
Yeah.
I think they're worried about a spike in demand they can't handle, that they did not properly account for.
Yeah.
And so this allows them some small degree of control if they get in a problematic moment that they can be like, hold it.
I guess it's like when Underscore talks about like that phase releasing you can do in the App Store, right? That like he doesn't want to release Widgetsmith to all Widgetsmith customers at once.
Exactly.
He wants to roll it out in case there's something he needs to adapt.
I was going to say it's a very similar thing, which is I first had this when I had a TiVo back in the day. That TiVo pushed, like, there were secret codes if you were in the like TiVo forums where you could get the update. But what they did is what a lot of it's become sort of standard practice, especially for stuff that's like more sort of slow to update home stuff, is, they update 1% of their list and see what happens, right? Why update everybody at once? Update a tiny portion and see what happens, and then go to 10% and see what happens, right? Because if it's a disaster, then you've not destroyed all of your customers' stuff. You've only destroyed a small random sample of them, which is not great, but it's better. So we're all going to get on the wait list. That'll be exciting. And when you get off the wait list, what you get the writing tools, which come in the context menu. So like where copy and paste is, there'll be a writing tools item, and it brings up slides up from the bottom, a writing on the iPhone and iPad, a writing tools sheet that has all those, summarize or make this more business-like, or, whatever, or check the grammar. All of that's in that sheet. Siri stuff is seamlessly switching between voice and typing. So you can type a little and then talk a little and then type a little, and that will apparently work, which is wild. The new design is in there that people were trying to enable before. It's in there, including activating type to Siri by double tapping on the bottom of the screen. That gesture's in there. And then you can type if you're in a place where you're not supposed to yell at your phone, you can just type your query in there. All the product knowledge is in there. So they did this thing where their model has learned everything that's in Apple's documentation. So if you're like, exactly. So it's like, how do I do this thing? And it'll just bring you an answer from the knowledge search. And part of this is the Siri that will allow you to sort of like, if you stumble while you're talking and say, no, I meant this, it follows along with that, and it will be able to maintain some context across
I really hope that product
statements.
knowledge stuff is good, because I would like to be able to rely on that for myself and also for other people, that I will be able to just teach people in my life that that's what you do to find something. Because like there was a thing when we were trying to do the live show, when we were setting up for the live show, 3 people, including me, were trying to find the setting on macOS that would stop my screensaver from coming on when the Mac was on power. And it was actually in the lock screen part of system settings, which was not the place that I thought it would be in, right? I looked in screensaver, it was not there. I looked in battery, and it was not there. That's where these things I think used to be. But it was in a new thing called lock screen, which isn't what I would have thought for the Mac, like the screensaver settings being in lock screen. Like I don't think that those two things are the same. But I would love to have been able to just bring up my assistant and just say like, how do I disable my screensaver when on battery? And it tell me, just do that. But we'll see how good it is, I would love to never have to Google something and be taken to the Apple support forums ever again in my life.
Yeah, no kidding. Right.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is they make this great instructional content for their stuff. I think this is going to be, I'm sure that the people I know who work on this stuff are not necessarily thrilled with the idea that their work is now just sort of like grist for an AI model. At the same time, if it means that you can ask your phone how to do a thing and it just tells you,
Or
that is
takes
kind
you
of the
there.
purpose.
Imagine
Or
that.
takes you there.
Yeah.
That is kind of the purpose of what they're working on, is
Yep.
to actually inform and help users. And maybe this is a better way to do that. So
Yep.
so that's all in there. The reduce interruptions focus, which is the AI-driven focus mode, including an auto summary of the notifications on your lock screen, so it will summarize what's going on, but it's going to reduce interruptions. So that's there. Some of the new Photos features, natural language search within Photos, and the ability to create a memory movie based on a text prompt are both in there. And summaries of audio transcriptions. So you can do audio transcriptions from things like recording a call or recording audio in notes from like a lecture or a meeting or whatever. And then the feature that will allow you to summarize that. So the transcription is a feature that's already in there. And now you will be able to apply a summary of like what happened in this. And so that's all in there. What else is in there? Mail features, priority messages is in there. The summaries in Mail, where it summarizes your message instead of giving you the first 2 lines of it, is supposedly in there.
What about image stuff, like image playgrounds? And
No. We'll get to that. So Smart Reply for Mail is also in there. Summaries and messages and Smart Reply and messages are in there.
Quite a lot, actually.
So that's a lot
of stuff, yeah.
What's not in there? Image creation. Both Image Playground and Genmoji are not in there. Cleanup in Photos, the background removal feature, or background replacement feature, not in there. Priority notifications, AI stuff is not in there.
Oh, so this is where it's like moving your notifications around and trying to surface the ones at the top.
That stuff's not in there. So the notification
is it
summary,
summarizing notifications?
I think it's just the focus mode that's doing that, but I'm not 100% on that.
Okay.
No, summarizing notifications is in there, and reduce interruptions is in there. It's just the priority notifications isn't happening.
Okay.
All the personal context Siri stuff and the in-app actions, shortcuts kind of stuff, that's just not there. And obviously the ChatGPT integration, I think previously was not going to be there until later in the fall, and it's not in the beta either. So that's sort of where they are. It's an interesting mix of what's in and what's out, but there's actual stuff that's out. And we should just say the beta dropped as we were recording the show. We knew about it in advance, right? Like I had this all written up, but like we but we haven't used it, right? I literally got briefed on this, and then we started Upgrade, and then the beta dropped while we were recording Upgrade. So you can hear about it now because it's out, but we don't have personal experience with it. That's going to have to wait. But there's a lot in there.
Are you going to put 18.1 on any of your devices?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my beta devices. At least one of my beta devices will go on 18.1 immediately. Yeah, for sure.
I haven't put any of the betas. I haven't put 18 on my phone yet. And I was wondering if to do it. I don't think I want to put 18.1 on my iPhone, because it will make moving to a new iPhone really complicated.
Tricky. Yeah,
but I might put it on my iPad now and try this stuff out.
Yeah,
I'll see what people say about it over the next few days. I'm being pretty restrained with the betas this year.
That's good. That's fine. Everybody gets to make their own decision.
This is very peculiar. It's
but
very strange.
For a very limited set of people, the Apple Intelligence era, get ready, Myke, begins now.
Yeah.
Chills.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing I wonder. What's gonna happen? Are we of these betas now? Like, are we gonna get 18.0 and 18.1 every 2 weeks with the same features in, except one has the Apple Intelligence on top? Or are they gonna be completely different tracks now?
I gotta be honest. I asked them that,
okay,
and I did not get a satisfying answer. I didn't get an answer, and so I don't know. I'm surprised that they didn't have an answer ready to go. I think I would be surprised if they didn't move in lockstep from here on out. But I don't have a guarantee that that's the case. And I do worry a little bit that there's going to be stuff locked down in 18.0 that's not going to be in 18.1 quite like at the... I hope that's not the case. I hope it's really just sort of like two builds of the same changes, but one of them has the AI stuff in and the other doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'd be it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll watch it and see. But first taste, and yeah, early days. The thing I would specify here is, and there was some talk in our Discord about this, and I think it's 100% true, that what Apple's trying to do here is suggest this is a preview for developers and wink everybody else who wants to go there.
Yeah.
But what it is not what they're going to ship to customers. It is beta. It is early days. There are going to be things that are weird about it. It's a beta. They know that people are going to hop on this and they're going to talk about everything that's going on with Apple Intelligence. They're obviously really wary of that. But and should be, right? But at the same time, I know we've talked about it in the past when we talk about me writing about betas and stuff. It's like, if they ship something to everybody and it's broken, you say, Apple shipped a broken thing.
Yep.
If they ship a beta that has something broken in it, you say, hey, this thing is broken. I hope it's fixed. And that's the difference between something that's not shipping to customers and something that's shipping to customers. So there is a level, you can acknowledge things that are broken, but there is a level, I know the internet doesn't do nuance, but like there is a level of judgment and outrage that should not happen this summer because it is in beta. And because it's in 18.1, I would say that's another attempt by Apple to say it's really in beta, like really in beta. So be gentle, I guess is what they're saying. Be gentle.